Hey everyone, how you doing? Hope you're well. I hope this time finds you in a place where you're finding a lot of joy in your life. I'm really excited today. I got a great friend with me today. Dear friend, we go way back. We've gone to church together, and we're actually neighbors now, which
Yep.
is awesome.
Yep.
Um, but Jerry is someone that I spend a lot of time with talking, and we talk about life. We have similar lives, and so I asked Jerry to come on today and talk about self discipline. This is something that, a lot of people struggle with. And so we wanted to talk about, different reasons and the ways that we are able to move on in our lives through self discipline. What's unique about Jerry is grew up in Aurora, which, as you guys know, Aurora is the second largest city in Illinois, very big city. And he grew up in a big family with not a lot, very humble beginnings, right? And so Jerry grew up today. He's a husband, a grandfather, a father of three, and very successful. But what people don't know about Jerry is that after years of a great career, he got cancer and got to the point where it was stage 4 liver cancer. And he made a deal with God, and from that, he's been living now for over 10 years since the cancer, hasn't it?
First time was 0405.
Oh 04, oh 05, so almost 15, over 15 years. So I've asked Jerry to talk a little bit about going through that and how self-discipline changed your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting, Juan, and I'm so glad that you asked me to come and speak today, just to share a little bit about me and a little bit about what I have, because that's all I have is just a little bit.
That's right.
Okay. But growing up on the east side of Aurora, I'm one of 14 kids, 10 boys and 4 girls. And when you look at discipline and you look at what shapes people, I believe that you need to start at the beginning,
Okay.
the basics, the root. And when you look at the definition of discipline, it simply is a training that develops self-control, a branch of knowledge or learning. And I can't look at discipline without looking further into that word of disciple. And so when you look at disciple, one of the definitions are an earlier follower of Jesus Christ and a pupil or follower of any teacher.
Okay.
So when you look at that, those are the basics. And I feel people get in trouble when they get off the path of the basics.
They sure do. Yeah.
If you keep your life simple, like God asks us to do, and follow Him, it really is simple. We complicate it. Okay. And I can go back to early stages of being a little boy, and with so many kids, 10 boys and 4 girls in the family, we had to clean. So one of my jobs was to vacuum the house every day, the whole house.
Yeah.
May seem like a lot, but when your house is only 900 square feet, it's not a whole lot.
Right.
But my mom would come home from work and she would say, "Did you vacuum?" I said, "Yeah, Mom, I did it." And she'd go and look where you didn't think the vacuum cleaner could get, behind the TV. And there'd be dust, and she'd say, "You didn't vacuum right. Now do it all over again."
The entire place.
The entire place. And I said, "Mom, why can't I just do this?" She said, "Because you didn't do it right the first time." So guess what I did the next time I had to vacuum?
Did the whole place.
Everything. So it all starts at an early age. It all starts at home. So I just want to tell everyone that regardless of who you are or what you think you can bring to the table, you're going to impact somebody every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be good or bad, but you will impact somebody whether you like it or not.
Now, that later in life, obviously having a job and a family and a growing family, but then you develop cancer.
Yeah.
And overcoming that, once you were able to get out of the hospital and now you have to try to live again, that discipline made a difference for you.
It really did. It definitely made a difference in there. And I'll back up just a little step here. When I was 17 years old, I enlisted early in the early entry program in the Marine Corps. So I was still in high school. My parents had to sign for me to get into the Marine
At 17.
Corps. At 17.
Awesome.
So graduated at 17, and a month later I was going to boot camp.
Wow.
And was in the infantry, trained there, got out, and started working. So all of that early training and discipline that my mother gave me, my dad gave me, and consistency.
And then the military.
The military on top of it, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Okay. And
that prepared you.
It prepared me. And lazy is not in my vocabulary.
Yeah, I've learned that about you.
Can't is not in my vocabulary.
That's
just
right.
When people say, if somebody says, I can do that, I believe you.
Right.
And if somebody says, I can't do that, I also believe you.
That's right.
And if you want to change, then just drop the T in the apostrophe.
There you go. It's that simple, right?
You know, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary people is the X.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've gotten this. I wrote down this definition. It says self-discipline is simply that quality that allows a person to do what is needed to be done. That's the quality, to do what is needed to be done, even when he or she doesn't feel like doing it. So you have to still do it when you don't feel like it. And I would imagine a lot of times after you were out of the hospital, you've overcome, which is a miracle in itself. People didn't think you'd make it. Yeah. You overcome, and now you're in the world again, trying to love your wife, trying to get up and go to work. There must have been days when you didn't feel like getting up.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Stage 4 liver cancer, my liver shut down 75%. And that's the first time. Cancer came back again in 2009. Stage 1, and we caught it early. But looking at everything in my life, growing up on discipline, self-control, work habits, that all set me up for what we go through in life. Mm-hmm. You know, and you know, failure is there's nothing wrong with failure. It's just the quitting that's not acceptable. Yeah. So I refuse to quit, and do not put a period where God put a comma. Because I'll never forget, October 15th of 2004, I was diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. And it was so severe, my liver shut down 75%. The doctor said, if he sees Thanksgiving, he probably won't see Christmas.
Wow.
So we're talking 30 days on the short end and 60 days on the long end.
Wow.
Okay, so...
Now, you made a deal with God at that point. Earlier, you gave the definition of what discipline is, but you also compared it to a disciple of Christ. Yes. So as a Christian, you made a deal with God in your bed there in the hospital. Tell us about that.
You know, my youngest son was 3 years old at the time. My middle son was about 12, and Alexis, I think, was a sophomore in college. Mm-hmm. And I said, Lord, who's going to walk my daughter down the aisle? Who's going to teach Stephen how to be a man? And the little one at 3 years old, he won't even remember me. Mm. They'll show him pictures and say, was your dad, and this is what he did. Yeah. And so I said, Lord, I need to do that. Mm. So if you leave me here, I promise to do your work. And I did say, I want to go see you, Lord. I just don't want to go see you now.
Can we wait? Can we postpone a little bit?
Can we wait? So you see, I've been so blessed. My daughter's married, first child, granddaughter. My middle son is graduated college, 28 years old, successful, works hard, and my youngest one is just turned 20 last week, and he's going to be a junior at Iowa State.
That's incredible. So your 3-year-old did get to know you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, you know, there's I've heard people saying as I speak and as I get out there, you know, I get a lot of different comments. And people are always talking about successful people, people that have overcome challenges. Sometimes people look at a successful person. Today, Jerry owns his own business with his daughter. He actually has several businesses, which he is succeeding at. And the thing that Jerry is about is helping people. I've seen you go speak at schools to inner city kids. I've seen you help with boxing. Boxing's a big deal for you.
It's a lot of fun.
And Jerry is a hard-driven disciplinarian. That's the way he is. And all you have to do is talk to his 3 kids. They will tell you, man, it was tough growing up with this military guy. But one of the things says people who demonstrate the fruit of self-discipline, which when I say fruit is, you know, the actual attributes of self-discipline. People who demonstrate this are productive, are dependable, and here's the most important one, are influential. That's who Jerry Cervantes is. And Jerry, you and I are friends. Yeah. And I wanted to bring Jerry on because Let me tell you, this guy works hard. It's hard to believe he overcame cancer. And not only does he work hard, he's productive, but he's dependable. He says he's going to be there. He's there, right? But here's the most important reason. He's influential. And that's why I wanted you to meet Jerry. Because he's influencing not only his family, his kids, but kids around the area. Everywhere he goes with his business, he's talking to people. And he wants to make an impact. Maybe sometimes you have 30 seconds, a minute with a person. Yeah. But other times you have a chance to really share what you think. There's been many times Jerry's come to my house and we have some young people here visiting my friends. And when I introduce them, Jerry will shake their hands and then pull them going, hey, what do you believe in? And they're like, who is this dude? So Jerry, as we wrap up here, what's some final words you want to talk about that piece, about being dependable, being productive, but more importantly, being influential? Challenge these folks as they're listening.
You know what? I want to challenge you to do the right thing, get educated, make good, sound decisions. And one of the things that I always remember about, especially in the military, you get up, you start your day, you do this, you do that. And quick little story is the lion has to get up every morning and hunt.
Right.
And it's very hot in this climate. Okay. But he has to get up and hunt. And the gazelle has to get up every morning and make sure that he's faster and smarter so that he doesn't get eaten. But they have to get up very early in the morning before the sun hits.
Right.
You see. So I do know this, that the lion has to get up early to eat. The gazelle has to get up extra early so he's not eaten. So when the sun comes up in the morning, I do know that you have to hit the floor running.
I love
so
it.
that you can survive. And one of the things that my wife, as I was going through cancer, she would look at me, and I was literally on my deathbed, Juan. And she would look at me and she said, don't you quit on me. And maybe it was some of those times in my eyes that she saw I was slipping. And she would say, don't you quit on me. And I'm like, I won't quit.
That's awesome.
I won't quit. And so she did everything that she could to take care of me while I was sick, and love her dearly. And don't you quit on me. And so you see, Jesus Christ says, don't you quit on me.
That's right.
I'm there for you. I'm the Father. Come to me. I'll do everything I can, but just don't quit on me.
Well, thank you, Jerry. That's a great word. So we leave you with this challenge. Every day, your goal is to get up and hit the floor running. Yes. And why? Because we want to make an impact. We don't just want to survive. We want to make an impact. We want to be influential. And this guy is incredible. If you're ever out in our area, you got to personally meet Jerry Cervantes. He's a storyteller, and he's dynamic, and he's fun. But, hey, we encourage you during this time when there's so much pressure, when there's so much change, it is time for you personally to get up and hit the floor running. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.